How's it going, everybody? My name's Porty. Today I want to talk about something serious. I want to talk about the state of DBD and how it currently sits and how it could sit in the future. So, it's not looking great. Not gonna lie. Now I hope I'm wrong, but stuff's looking pretty scuffed. Now y'all know me. I've been saying any DBD update that starts with an 8 point whatever, has had a slew of issues pretty much nonstop. Every single time Behavior puts out an update, at least since 8.0, has been I'm gonna watch my language, absolute disaster in one way or another. And to an extent, a little before the 8.0s, mostly in the 8.0s. Every Dead by Daylight update has bugs, slews of issues, possible game-breaking stuff. But I feel like anything since 8.0, I feel like anything since 8.0 has just been worse, which is incidentally around the time they did all those layoffs. I don't like making this video. I love Dead by Daylight. It is my all-time favorite game. Something I am seeing more consistently across creator space for this game is a lot of the issues aren't as forgivable now, if that makes sense. A lot of the issues shouldn't be happening at this point in the game's development. It was pretty understandable. All of the crap that came with transitioning to Unreal Engine 5, some of which I still think shouldn't have been there. A lot of people still think shouldn't have been there, considering a lot of those issues were not present in the PTB, where they introduced the Unreal 5 transition. But I digress. Pretty much everything since the Unreal 5 transition has just been a jumbled mess. A lot of people scream spaghetti code. What these people don't realize with Unreal Engine game development, yeah, there's a lot of custom code, but a lot of the stuff involved with the game are visual nodes in a graph that you manipulate. Yeah, there's some custom code, but a lot of it is not custom code. A lot of it's not. A lot of the issues shouldn't or should not have existed or exist. And a lot of issues in the game just go unsolved or unfixed for years. The development of the game seems lazy and very content focused, which, to be fair, it is a live service game. That is kind of their bread and butter. Content. It kind of feels, at least to me, it's kind of going the way of Apex Legends, where it's focusing on the wrong aspects of what it should be focusing on. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that says they shouldn't put out any content. Just fix the game and then content later. I get it. They're a live service game. They have to put out content, drawing people to earn them money. I get it. But it's like they have almost no real focus in actual game development and bug fixes, and it's just content. Part of that I love is a lot of the cosmetics we've been getting in the game recently have absolutely cooked. Some of them not so much, but a majority of them has been a step up from years prior. I like that, don't get me wrong. I'd rather have the game function, for lack of a better way of putting that. The player base isn't really growing. And if anything, while I haven't seen the numbers, it feels more like it's shrinking. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I only say this because queue times have been getting worse and worse with each subsequent update since the Unreal 5 transition, if not sooner. And now with us regularly getting game modes and modifiers, or at least now kind of rehashed game modes and modifiers, we haven't gotten a new thing really since My Little Oni. Everything else has been a rehash of something they've already done, which is a whole other video to make. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is it's dividing the player base for queue times even more on a regular basis for extended periods of time. The queue times are already not great because the player base is not growing at a rate to sustain an operation, for lack of a better term. When you start doing the modifiers in the game modes, which I love, it further dilutes the player pool. It splits your player base, makes your queue times significantly worse. And they've even been doing this with events now, which I think is a good idea if the player base could support that. Where it just kind of can't. And then as the queue times get worse, less people want to play because the queue times are long, which makes the queue times even longer and the problem worse and worse. It's a compounding problem. If you want my honest opinion, I think that's why they announced the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter as early as they did. They kind of had to. Their player base is shrinking. Again, I haven't seen the exact number. but based off of my experience playing the game, I have been seeing familiar names more often, and the queue times have only gotten worse. And a lot of the problems have been kind of beat to death by other creators. But to essentially sum it up, the new player experience is awful. Honestly, even the long-term player experience is not great. It's pretty bad. If I did not love the game as much as I do, I probably would have left completely as well. And even that being said, while my YouTube content is still 100% Dead by Daylight focused, even my Twitch content has transitioned more to a, instead of almost 100% Dead by Daylight, to about 60% and then 40% other variety. Experience in the game just sucks. And there's a lot of problems. Item system needs a massive rework. Player experience as a whole, especially for newer players, needs reworked. A ridiculous grind to get perks. A lot of the good almost all of the good perks are locked behind some sort of paywall. You can't just buy them with Eerie shards. You have to use Auric cells to get these chapters or these characters to get the perks. Yeah, you can bet on the Shrine of Secrets, but I'm gonna be honest, I hate when people say, just wait for it to show up in the shrine. There are still some perks that have been in the game for years that have yet to show up in the shrine. For years. Shrine is a gamble. The game made some sort of modern overhaul. There were a lot of things about DBD Mobile I just didn't like. There were a lot of features that I kind of did. And some of those features could kind of fix or resolve these problems. It's just kind of wild to me that the development behind Dead by Daylight is so slow. A lot of basic things that people have wanted for ages and that were even present in DBD Mobile, like for instance, being able to see your teammates' perks, even if it's just in the loading screen as a survivor, to make the solo queue experience better. In a more recent, semi-recent Q&A that they did on Reddit, said, oh yeah, we'll look into that in the coming years, plural. A feature that was already present in Dead by Daylight Mobile. I know they didn't develop that. That was another game developer that did that, but they were able to so easily do it themselves. Why can't behavior? And I think the excuses that they give are kind of bullshit, which to be fair, they don't give many excuses because they don't give many answers. Anytime they run a Q&A, most of the stuff they give are non-answers. It seems whoever's in charge over behavior for Dead by Daylight is more concerned specifically about making money as opposed to making a good, fun, enjoyable game, which in turn would make them more money because people would stick around and buy their cosmetics. I want to be making positive content about the game, but I find it harder and harder to do as time goes on. Which sucks too, because like I said, a lot of the cosmetics that we've gotten in the last year have absolutely smacked. Some of the chapters that we've gotten recently have been absolutely amazing. I loved the Castlevania chapter. I loved the Unknown and Sable chapter. And while, yeah, I have some criticisms for every chapter that has come out, a vast majority of what we've gotten, I've relatively enjoyed. Xenomorph is okay. Chucky's awesome. I love Chucky. The Unknown is fun. A little clunky. Fun. Do not get me started on Skull Merchant, though. And Houndmaster. As a concept, I like Houndmaster. As a concept. But in her execution, she's busted. She needs to be fixed. I love Houndmaster's concept. I love her power. I love everything that it's about. And I like that they didn't go the Skull Merchant route and gave us a new original killer that actually looks scary. If anybody tries to tell you that Skull Merchant looks scary, no. But the Houndmaster, she's genuinely creepy, scary, just is not fun to play. And is super easy to play against. I've only gone against one good Houndmaster. That's it. Every other one's been cheese. I don't know, man. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of people in the comments. No, they're doing great. No, they're doing great. Look at all this. Look at all that. But I'd like you to take a closer look. Don't just look at the licenses they've been getting recently or the cosmetics they've been putting out. Look at the actual quality of what they've been putting out. Cosmetics, again, have been great. And yeah, a lot of the stuff they've been putting out is fun. You, Skull Merchant, have just been busted. And every time a new major update comes out, some game-breaking shit happens, and I'm tired of that. There is another new exploit for RPD. Another one that puts a survivor in a location that the killers can't get to unless they're a ranged killer, like Huntress or Deathslinger. If you don't have range on your killer, if you do not have aerial range on your killer, like Trickster, Huntress, Deathslinger, etc., you're screwed. Every update comes with this shit, and it is so frustrating. I have not disconnected from so many killer games in my life, and not just skill issue games, but shit beyond my control. I don't want to sit there for an hour playing Wraith on RPD because somebody decided, I'm gonna go run onto a railing and then go sit next to a statue where you can't hit me. I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Not even those survivors that do it. They do it, they get up and walk away. I don't want to do that. That's so boring. Not to mention, a lot of the time that I play this game right now is live on Twitch. I think you want to watch the streamer do anything the heck else but play the game because it was hijacked by one player? 2 players? No. If you say yes, you're a liar. Every update has brought shit. Even updates meant to fix the game have broken stuff. Even in their patch notes recently, they are either lying now about fixes they supposedly did, or equally as bad, it's something they thought was the fix and didn't test it. I think that's equally bad. Like there's some sound cues in the game, for instance, the spirit, some things you're not supposed to be hearing as spirit, so you can hear the survivors whenever you go into her phase walk. Oh, we fixed it. They said that in an official patch note. We fixed it. They didn't. They said in an official patch note, oh, we fixed the audio bug with flashbangs being dropped on the ground where you couldn't hear them. They didn't. They did not fix it. It is still there. Even scratch marks, every update are broken, and then they put out a patch that says they fixed it, and then it looks a little bit better for maybe a week or a couple of days, and then suddenly they're broken again. I legitimately hate going into Eyrie of Crows on Killer because it is damn near impossible to see scratch marks, because scratch marks are almost constantly busted. I know I've just been doing a lot of whining in this, and I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. Behavior. BB, look at me. I love your game. Please get your shit together. I do not want to see this game crash and burn. A lot of people don't. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far in the video and you agree with me, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell even. With that, hopefully in the next video, we have some more fun stuff to talk about, or hell, even some fun clips. I don't know. Either way, I'll see you in the next video.